Hey, listen up. We got another episode of Wise Kracks, featuring the crack man himself, Bill Krackomberger, and our co-host, John Orlando, straight from Las Vegas. Wise Kracks is your ticket inside the world of sports betting, with tips, picks, special guests, and more. Only on WSN.com.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Wise Kracks. I am John Orlando, and we got a lot to talk about today, and we're going to talk about all of it with our man of the hour, Mr. Bill Krackomberger. What's going on, Crack?
Good, John. All's going good, and we got a really big show on tap for today, and like always, and it's amazing, John. Between you and I, we get some unbelievable guests. I almost want to challenge every show to come up with the guests we have every week on a podcast. That's for sure.
Yeah, you crushed it today, and you already got next week's lined up too. Another big heavy hitter. So you're on fire. We are on, and cool. Crack Wins is on fire, and we'll talk about that a little later as well. Awesome. But I wanted to know if you saw the latest headlines today in the sports world. It's a big deal to me. I'm going to pull it up on my phone. Okay. Forbes released the top 10 highest earning athletes.
Oh, I seen that little notification come up on my computer. As a matter of fact, it's still there.
But wait, don't look yet.
Oh, don't look? Okay.
Yeah, don't look. I want to see if you can tell me who's number one.
Oh, number one?
Can you guess who's? Well, I'll tell you this. It's normally Floyd.
Yeah.
Is usually number one.
Yep.
But Floyd didn't fight last year.
Okay.
So those are the only hints I'll give you. Can you tell me now, who do you think is number one on the Forbes highest earning list for an athlete?
I actually wouldn't know who to think. I mean, I would think like the biggest baseball contract, but I'm sure it's NBA. But I know Jarrett Cole made a ton of money. What's his name on the Dodgers? Your guy on the Dodgers, Mookie Betts, is making a ton of money.
Yeah, that's a good guess. It's a good guess, back. But I'm going to
probably
reveal.
Not. It's going to be.
I'm going to reveal.
Oh, Connor,
is the king? The king is back.
Wait a minute.
Yes.
He didn't make $180 million last year.
So it's kind of cheating, not cheating, but so he made $154 million outside of the octagon.
That counts. That counts. Right?
He's the founder of Proper 12 Irish Whiskey, and they sold a big stake of it, or he sold, I think, the majority stake of his shares. I think he still has some shares, but he sold that to the tune of $154 million or something.
So that's like Sammy Hagar,
right?
Who was Van Halen. He had some kind of tequila. I don't know which it was.
Yeah.
Sammy, I actually listened to his autobiography book on tape. Fantastic. It's called Red. And in that, it's amazing. The guy was sleeping in his car, out in the cornfield, and then look, he literally sold a tequila company for like $200 million, and and he's a really cool, humble guy, great guy.
Yeah, I've met him a couple times.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
Yeah,
but so this is a similar where Conor made this money outside on liquor sales. Yeah. Wow.
And I don't know if you know Conor's whole story. So he's 32 now.
Okay.
But did you know when he was like 24 or 25, he was on welfare?
Oh, wow.
He went from welfare,
less than 10 years ago. Yeah.
From welfare to $100 million, or when he fought Floyd, and he made something like 85 or 100 million, whatever it was. In 4 years, from welfare to 100 million in 4 years. It's a pretty incredible story, really, when you think about it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it really is. This guy, now, can I click on it now? I want to see here.
Yes, now you can click on it.
Okay, we'll go. The highest paid athlete, 180 million in earnings. Unbelievable. 158 come from outside sources. Wow. Oh, Lionel Messi, of course. That's right.
Yep.
Big, wow, 130 million.
Yeah, Messi is number 2, the soccer player. And then Cristiano Ronaldo comes in at number 3 with 120 million.
Wow.
Dak Prescott shocked me that Dak is on there. I guess now find the big deal, right?
What did he must have got a lot of upfront money. Does it say 107 million he made last year?
Yeah.
Wow.
I guess maybe signing the contract.
There's an Austin. There it is. A $66 million signing bonus.
That's unheard of, right? For football.
It really is.
And you realize he got this crack with a broken leg.
Oh yeah, he was hurt.
Right?
Oh, everyone felt bad.
Yeah, well, and everyone thought, oh, he's screwed. He's not going to sign. But props to the Cowboys for being loyal and still sticking with this.
Everyone looking forward to the NFL schedule, which is released. Everyone looking forward to that first game Thursday night. It's going to be the defending champions, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, taking on the Cowboys.
Really?
So that's the first game of the season. It was announced yesterday, and they just announced the first week of the season. They didn't do every single week yet. Howard Katz makes the NFL schedule, a friend of mine also, and he makes the schedule. And they just released the first week, but that's such an anticipation. That first game Thursday night. Dak,
do you know where
coming
it is?
back. It's in Tampa. It's in Tampa. Let me give you the Monday night game.
Yeah,
the Monday night game: Baltimore Ravens at the Las Vegas Raiders.
Really?
There you go. First Monday night.
Are we going to that game? Do we go?
You know what? I actually have a really good connection for a box. And the guy gave me a tour of the stadium. Anytime you want to go, it's free. Now that they announced this, let's see if he wasn't BSing me.
Yeah.
I'll grab those 2 seats. And if you want to go, you and I'll go.
I'm in.
Because I'll only go to 1 game probably for the season, maybe 2. Yeah. So, but however, I will give you a choice of one of those home games, and you can go.
I love it. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. Cool. Number 5 is LeBron James, $96 million. That's not a shocker, right? I've never heard of number 6, but I'm not a big soccer fan. Have you heard of, is it Neymar?
No, never heard of him.
No?
Nope.
Well, he made $95 million last year.
Wow.
And number 7 might shock you. I mean, I know he's a great player, but I didn't realize he was still killing it like that. Roger Federer, tennis player.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that. Wow.
He is 39 years old. I didn't even think you could still play tennis at 39.
It's probably the off the court money.
Endorsements, yeah, for sure.
Yep.
And then number 8, I had never heard of. I know I'm going to get so much hate for this probably on the DMs. You can tell what sports I like. Lewis Hamilton. Do you know who that is?
No. Who is it?
Good, I feel better. He's a Formula One driver. Lewis Hamilton. He did 82. I have no glasses on. I don't know if it's 82 or 92.
I can't believe that they can make that kind of money in Formula One.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Well, good for him. Good for Lewis.
Yeah, good for him. And number 9 is the GOAT, Tom Brady.
Wow. Did he make that kind of money?
$76 million.
Wow. They were talking about the guy like retiring or not even being in football. The guy's making well, again, a lot of money off the field also.
Can you imagine a 43-year-old athlete making $76 million in a year?
Amazing.
I mean, you got to love America, right?
Yeah.
Kevin Durant comes in at number 10 at $75 million. And that's your top 10 Forbes earners for last year.
Very cool.
Pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
Pretty
cool.
I just I had to get that in because, I'm a Connor. I drank the Connor.
I had no idea he made that kind of money.
Yeah.
No idea. So that's really cool. Really cool.
Yeah. Let's see. We don't need to dwell on it, but my Dodgers crack. I don't know, man. I think
as soon as you said it, I mean, not only did you say it, you wanted everyone to keep on laying the run and a half every game. They're 5-15 in their last 20 games straight up. They've won 5 of the last 20 games.
It's so bad.
Yeah.
It's so bad. I can't even blame Kenley Jansen. I don't even know. They all suck. I don't know what's going on.
They're a very talented group, though.
Yeah.
They're gonna be there in the end. We know that they're gonna be there. I don't know about the very end now, but they're gonna be there throughout the playoffs, and we'll see what they can do.
Did you get down on the Giants to win it all? Did you put something down when they were 80-1?
I didn't, and I probably will regret it.
What are they now? Are they still 80?
Let's see.
See if you can see.
Yeah, let's see what they are.
Yeah, I can't
80-1 was really, really good. And,
they've had to have dropped.
They'll still be really high though. They'll still be pretty high though. I can guarantee it here. So let's check that out.
I'm getting nothing but just hate from all my. I have so many friends that are Giants fans. I don't understand that.
Oh, really? Wow.
Friends that grew up in LA that are Giants fans. It doesn't make any sense.
Yankees Raiders. 6.5 to 1. Let's see who else we got here. That's down the list of teams that were talked about pre start of the season. Indians 35 to 1. I know someone who actually likes the Royals. So Astros 18 to 1. Royals are 60 to 1.
They have a good young team.
Braves 15-1. The Mets, who were touted as a great team early in the season,
every year,
they're 15-1 now. The Phillies 30-1. By the way, the Phillies were 75-1. I have seen. So let's go on to the Dodgers are now plus 310. I took them at plus 350, but they're going.
Wait, you got them at plus 350, and they've done nothing but lose more games since then.
I got them at plus 350 when they were literally like 13-3, which was I could have scalped the line and laid 300 at Circa, because Circa you can go yes and no. Let's see what else. The Giants are now 40-1, which is still,
yeah, it's still respectable.
But I can't bet something now at 40-1 when I could have got 80-1. It's a mental thing.
Really?
Yeah, it's just if I didn't get the best of the line back then, and it's wrong, by the way, it's absolutely wrong. I know someone that took Tampa Bay at 50-1, and then he took them again at 25-1, and he got the money with the Buccaneers. So,
wow, all right.
Yeah, so that's the Dodgers. Let's get off that real quick.
Yeah, let's get off of that. Let's talk about there was a big fight in the boxing world last Saturday. Canelo stepped into the ring.
Yep.
And did what he always does, which is win. And I'm sure you cashed in on that in some capacity.
No, I didn't. I didn't. No? I actually had the over.
Oh, no.
Over 10.5, which seems like it was going to be cruising along there. It looked like I liked my position. I really did. Going into the 4th, 5th, 6th round, I liked my decision. And unfortunately, though, let's just say what it is. Billy Joe Saunders, who was 30-0, it's almost these fights that these guys have are almost built up fake fights. We talked about it before air, and you brought that up, so you get credit for that. But you're absolutely right. This guy, once fighters taste their own blood sometimes, and he didn't even do that. He got hit on the eye. But once they taste their own blood or know, because they know they have blood, or they know it's coming down their face, or something is cut open because they use that metal. There's a name for it. I just don't know. It's like a metal press. The end swell. That's right. And once they see that, they feel it on their face. It's almost like, oh my God. They panic.
Right. Yeah.
The guy would not get out of the chair.
No,
I honestly couldn't believe it. He didn't get back up for the next round.
Yeah. No mas.
When one of the announcers, the guy that scores the fights there, had to fight like a draw, it's really hard to believe. Now, on all the 3 scorecards, Canelo was ahead by 2 rounds. But yeah, it was. I thought I had a really good bet and lost my money. So it happens.
Yeah.
I really don't bet a lot on fights. Try to stay away from, because so many things can happen. Headbutts, things like that. You guys lose your heart. I mean, there's not a lot of short things in boxing like there was when Mayweather was champion, and he was the smartest strategic fighter. He would pick the best fights for himself, and that's why he's undefeated. And you would have been undefeated in the 25 or so fights you could have bet on with him involved.
Yeah. It's crazy that a fighter could be 30-0 and you've never heard of him. Right?
Yeah, I heard of him though.
You had? I'd never heard of him.
Yeah, I actually heard of him.
But you follow, you keep up with.
I do, and we talked off air a little bit. We can continue our conversation now. And I hope I'm not jumping ahead. I might be.
No, go ahead. Go.
How good is Canelo? Is he this good, or is it based on fighting guys like Billy Joe Saunders, the last guy, Avni, Yildirim, Callum Smith? These are guys that really people don't hear of, but yet their records are 27-0, 21-2, 30-0. A lot of them are set up fights for him, but I tend to disagree, though. I think he has fought some pretty good guys. He fought Sergey Kovalev. Yeah. He fought Daniel Jacobs, great fighter. He fought Golovkin, Triple G, twice. Now, to be fair, I was at both fights. I thought Triple G beat him in both fights. The first one, I had him way ahead. I had him ahead by like 8-4 or something. Ridiculous draw. And I think anyone that knows anything knows that that's ridiculous, that score. But he has fought some guy. Listen, I'm looking at his box rec fight. Chavez, I don't think was nothing, just built up because of his father. Amir Khan, just an Englishman that everyone liked from across the pond, 31-3. Seems like his fights were kind of set up too. I never really thought. And
he fought Amir Khan late. And
I'll tell you something else. Even Khan, it's amazing the money Khan has made. He made like $10 million in a couple fights. I just never thought he was all that. But he did beat Miguel Cotto.
Miguel Cotto's legit.
He beat Cotto. He beat Arislandi. He beat Lara. Kirkland. There's some couple fights he beat. Now go back to Austin Trout. He beat Trout. Then how about this? Shane Mosley. So he beat some guys that were legit fighters. Yeah. Of course, he ran into Floyd, and they said it was too young in his career. Right. He only had so many fights underneath him. But I'm not one to really bite on that too much, because he did before he fought Floyd. He did fight some other guys that I thought were, Jose Miguel Cotto, which is Cotto's brother. He fought Kermit Cintron, Mosley, Josecito Lopez, who actually did win a title himself, Austin Trout. Then he fought Mayweather. I'm not one to say, they made him fight too quick. Right. Now, do I think there would be a different outcome now? I think there was more of an intimidation factor there, too, with him. I think maybe he was even a little bit intimidated. I was at that fight also. Really? And, I was at that fight with Floyd, and I was at that fight with Floyd and Alvarez. And I just thought that he came in and, looking for his biggest payday at the time there. I think it was over $5 million. And maybe a little bit intimidated by Floyd. Now, today, would it be a better fight? Would it be a better fight? I don't know, because you would think it would be. Floyd's much older now, so you would think it would be. But Floyd has decided to take on this clown car full of things, which I won't even watch that fight. And I'm not even watching it. If I can get it free on Crack Streams, I shouldn't talk about that. It's a little free way to watch fights, guys. I've watched the last 3 fights on Crack Streams, and I actually got in for free and watched it. Don't be doing that; it's illegal. Okay. But anyway, so and that also the Canelo fight. It was the most attended fight ever in that, what they call the Jerry Dome, I guess, over there. And like over 70,000 people for that fight. It was really amazing. It's funny.
Boxing's not dead, I guess.
That's right. People say boxing is. They always say that, and you know why, John? Because of the UFC. UFC. I say everything. Boxing is dead. Well, boxing. Listen, big boxing matches are absolutely not dead. I every fight that I have went to with the big fights are always sold out like that, and I always say to myself, "Wow, they say boxing is dead." And now, literally still in the middle of COVID, it's amazing all those people got together for that fight in Dallas. So, but there was fights back in the 20s and 30s. There was a boxing arena built in Newark, New Jersey, Newark or Elizabeth. I think it was on the border of Newark and Elizabeth. That fit 110,000 people for a fight, and they sold out. Yeah, so boxing was bigger back then, maybe because you gotta understand, you only had like boxing and baseball. There wasn't NBA. There wasn't. Yeah, right. So there was only 2 really big sports back then. But so that was. And
they've done a terrible job, the boxing promoters, building up the other fighters. Like the casual fan only knows a handful of names, and they're a different weight class. Like, they know Floyd, obviously, they know Canelo, they know Pacquiao, but he's basically on his way out, right? Yeah. They know Tyson Fury, maybe. I mean, think about that. The heavyweight champ. I bet if I walked down the street and down the strip in Vegas and I asked 100 people, who is the heavyweight boxing champ right now? I'd be curious to see how many people could actually answer that question correctly. I would make a wager that it's under 30%. And I agree with you. And you have to lay $1.50 on that. Yeah, right. 30. No one knows. The people back in the day when it was Tyson, everyone knew. Everyone knew. Tyson was like a 99 out of 100. Yeah. So it's like they've done a bad job building up those guys. Like you were just saying. I mean, you knew that guy that was 30-0. I'd never heard of him, but like and sometimes even the number one contender fights that it's like 48-0 meets 37-0. One man's gonna leave with a blemish. And you've never heard of either guy. That's how about problem. Talking about Tyson Fury though? I like him. I think he does a great job. He's a character. He's got a personality. Yeah. I love Tyson Fury. Yeah, I love Tyson Fury. I think he's great for the fight. He came out with the Mexican Independence Day sombrero and everything during that, and then he'll come out and he came out with the Apollo Creed outfit and Living in America, doing the Apollo Creed dance. Yeah, he's very flashy and showy, but in a good way. Yeah. Well, listen, all of those of you listening and watching around the world, of course, you're going to get some action down on all of these fights that are coming in the future and all of the NBA playoffs and baseball and all that. So make sure you download the Crack Wins app. It's on the Google Play or it's on Apple, obviously, and you can go to the crackwins.com website. And, Crack, you've been on fire, as always, haven't you?
Having a good season again. Last couple of days had some, oh my God, some terrible beats, but I don't talk about terrible beats normally. But when I'm taking like $1.80 on a game and I just need one more strike and cash my money, and it's, almost a 5-figure swing on that, it's kind of bothering me, and it hurts my guys too. So I had the Phillies the other day, needed one out, taking $1.50. Yesterday I had the Cubs in the first 5, taking $1.80 and needed one more strike. It's just both games. I didn't even push both games. I lost both games.
Oh man.
So, but anyway, things are good though. Our golf's great. Baseball's always great. Got some really good stuff on tap. Looking forward to having some WNBA. Believe it or not, we do very well at WNBA. So looking forward to have that. And we're chugging along, man.
All right. So check out the app, download it today. There's all kinds of good stuff in there. And then after you download that, head on over to WSN.com. They've got all of the sign-up bonuses at all of the different sites. Cracks talk about it many times on the show in previous weeks. And I've even had a couple people reach out to me in the DM, Crack, saying thank you for the tip on WSN.com. So hats off to you on that one.
Yeah, of course, right there. As you go there, you'll see you can watch any of our podcast on there. We're right up there on the top, and you can click on more episodes there. But also, like you said, I love going there for the articles. There's great content all the time. I mean, right now there's an article on, of course, big talk right now is the Kentucky Derby and Bob Baffert and the scandal going on with the Kentucky Derby winner. And now that there's a whole article on here on the Preakness and what's going on there. We still don't know, though. I think they are leaning to let this horse race again. And But I know Bob Baffert will not be in Maryland. He won't be at Pimlico. He's kind of a little bit disgraced now. But listen. They a lot of these guys do it. I mean, it's just a way of they should just own up to it, and that's it. But I mean, the excuses he gave during the week was funny, by the way. For people that don't know here, so the horse won the race, and then they came back and said we're going to possibly take this purse money away and the victory away because he tested positive for a drug. I think it's called bethesdomine.
Yeah.
And so now Baffert said, I have no idea how that happened. And then they said, the groom peed on the hay in the barn and he was taking cough medicine and the horse ate the hay. Therefore, he tested positive for the drug. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Seems reasonable.
Yeah. Okay. So now the latest is, no. That's not it. It's not the urine. Now it's they rubbed some stuff on his foot because he had a little injury and that had a little trace of this drug in it. And that's how it. So they spun it very well. But for most people, we know what's up. And it's not just Bob Baffert, though. It's the industry. It's a black eye on the industry, again, on a dying industry, too. Only the big races, the Kentucky Derby, the Belmont, of course, maybe here, the Pimlico, and then you have Del Mar and Saratoga, a couple fun things during the year. But as far as the horse racing, it's just another black eye for the sport. So going back to that, WSN's got articles on that, many articles on the soccer, on the golf this weekend, lots on the NBA, some predictions and odds and news on the NFL. More importantly, I like the sportsbook stuff, the bonuses. So I go right again. I know I'm a broken record here. Click on bonuses. All the states pop up. What's in your state? What bonuses you have? Click on New Jersey, and you'll see thousands and thousands of dollars in literally free bets, bet credits, deposit bonuses, just cash bonuses there. So make sure you head over to WSN.com.
That is a winning parlay, the Crack Wins app and WSN.com. And speaking of winning, we're winning today because you wrangled an incredible guest, and we sat down a little earlier today with that guest, and here's who it was. All right, Bill, I couldn't be more excited about our guest today. He's a multiple-time world champion in 2 weight classes, having held the WBO light heavyweight title from 88 to 91 and the WBO heavyweight title from 92 to 93. He's the unified WBA, IBF, and lineal heavyweight titles in 1994. This guy was a beast at 52-4 with 40 KOs, and he also stepped in there and beat a guy named Evander Holyfield, which I'm sure you've heard of. He's many people don't know this. He's the first Southpaw heavyweight champion we've ever had. I speak of the great Michael Moorer. How are you, Michael?
Hey, I'm blessed. I'm blessed to still be here. Thank you.
Thanks for joining us, Michael. Appreciate it. I got to meet you a couple of years ago, and I've been at many events with you. I was telling the guys off camera what kind of a person you are, flying up to the events when Teddy Atlas was inducted in the Boxing Hall of Fame upstate New York. You flew up for that. You flew up to his dinners every year in November. You're just a good man. There's not a lot of good men left that remember where they come from. You're one of them. So
right.
Thank you for joining.
Teddy's the type of person that he would do it for me because we have that respect for one another. So I would drop anything to do what I can for him. Absolutely.
Awesome. And Michael, I'm gonna tell you something. You look great, my man. You look as young as ever. I swear to you, you look like you can get in the ring right now like you did 30 years ago. I'm just telling you. So
straight up, I'm 209.
Oh, really? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm nice and lean. Rip.
Yeah. No, you're looking really, really good, man. And again, like Jon said, 52-4, 40 knockouts. These guys back then, they were just a different quality of fighter than the guys today. Now, I'm not taking nothing away from our heavyweights now or anything, but it just seems like back when you were fighting, I was really into the heavyweights. You know, my wife and I were dating at the time. We actually watched you fight on we went to our local place. They had like the closed circuit or whatever it may be. I just remember that, and I remember every single big fight I go watch. It's just not today. I just don't do that. I'm not into it no more. Though we do have like Tyson Fury. I kind of think he's a character and brings some stuff to the stage, but I don't know about the whole division compared to back when you were fighting. What do you think about today's heavyweights compared to when you were fighting, or even before you were fighting, maybe the Larry Holmes era, or even Muhammad Ali? What do you think about today's? Why isn't it the appeal is just not there like it was back when you were fighting?
I can't answer that. I have an opinion,
right?
And I'm just speaking from what I know and what I think of. My stuff is not actual facts.
Sure.
The heavyweights today are more international heavyweights, and it's been that way since the mid-90s, I believe. So back when I was a heavyweight, and maybe before me, there were more Americans
That's a great point.
that were heavyweight champions that resonated with the American people. You know, being that, excuse me,
sure,
being that the heavyweight division is so mixed up with American, there's a lot of different nationalities up there now. And back in the day, it used to just be mostly all American. So
very good point. Good point.
There's really not fixation on boxing in the heavyweight division anymore.
Yeah, how long were the Klitschko's like? You're right. They were the big guys and stuff. You're absolutely right. The American heavyweights are just not there like they were years ago. I never thought of that. You, Jon? That's exactly a great point that Michael brought up.
I think he's spot on, and I don't know why we didn't think of that when we were talking about this earlier today, but that's why we needed the champ to come in and get it straight.
That's right.
Let me ask you this, champ. What do you make of these guys like Jake Paul walking around saying he's now a pro boxer, and Logan Paul's going to fight Mayweather? Is this good for the sport, bad for the sport? What's your stance on that?
I have nothing to say about it, derogatory, but my opinion, if he can go out there and make money by doing what he does, good for him. And the people that want to watch him and they pay for it and they go out and see him and spend money for it, good for him. I'm not one of them.
Cool. No, it's and they are making a lot of money. You're talking, we're talking $100 million each. I heard this next fight could be.
That's smart,
right? Get the money.
Why would someone criticize somebody making $100 million because they can't do it? That's jealousy. These guys found what they can do, and they're making money big time. Good for them. It's just that I'm not a fan of that, because but hey, they got talent, I'm sure. If they're doing it and they're successful at doing it. But why knock somebody?
Floyd's a smart guy too. Floyd is so smart, man. He's a money maker. He is Money Mayweather.
Exactly.
For sure. Absolutely.
And people don't like successful people, especially if they're brown. You have to be honest. Back in the day, there was not many brown guys that did what Floyd's doing now. Floyd is the master of what he does. And people don't like that because he does it. He's a little cocky with it. Who's not going to be cocky? Who's not going to have a little chip on your shoulder? Why not? Because you want to be on point all the time.
Very good. Very good. You bring that up. I remember the great Jack Johnson 100 years ago. Boy, people hated him. He was the first guy. I'm a boxing historian. I love old boxing stuff. He was, flashy, and he drove the convertible Rolls Royce. This is back in 20s, 30s, and yet he goes down as one of the most unbelievable champions ever. So, but yes, he was a hated guy back then. Just like you're right, Floyd has a lot of naysayers, and you're right about also anyone that gets success in any way, it seems like you always have detractors, and it comes out of, especially with social media and stuff like this, it comes out of jealousy and hiding under anonymity of social media and people not even using their real names and stuff. So I absolutely agree with you. Great points you bring up, and you made me go down memory lane there. I want to ask you, you've worked with training legend Teddy Atlas, who's also my friend. A very good friend. I've been good friends with him for decades. One of the legendary trainers of all time. Great video. I love the video of him and you during the Holyfield fight when he's pumping you up, getting out there. And when you beat Holyfield, I literally the hair stand up on my arms thinking about it, that fight and what it meant to you and what it meant to your legacy and your place in boxing history. And what am I right by saying this? That was the best moment of your boxing life when you first won that belt, or was it when you won it? I believe you won it a first time before that. Is that also right?
You're correct. I beat Burt Cooper, late Burt Cooper. Back in 92, and then in 94, I beat Holyfield. So the first title was always going to be the most memorable and the best. The second one was more of who the man was. It wasn't the first guy. It was more of the second guy of who Evander Holyfield. He was more popular than Burt Cooper at the time. Of course.
But however, I know that Burt was a great fighter. You've beaten so many great fighters, Axel Schultz, Francois Botha, Vaughn Bean. You beat some really good fighters. And of course, Holyfield, it was a great fight that you won. And it just stands out for me. But absolutely, that Burt Cooper, the first one, I'm sure is always the sweetest one for you. And, again, you've won actually, I think, John mentioned before, WBO light heavyweight, WBO heavyweight, but then the unified WBA, IBF, and lineal heavyweight, and also the IBF heavyweight title again, 96 to 97. So you really have a storied, accomplished career. That's fantastic. John, you have a question?
Yeah, I mean, just to your point, it goes back to, like he said, maybe it is the difference of the European fighters opposed to more of the names we learn and know here. But it feels like the road to become the champ when he fought was way tougher than it is now. Would you agree with that, Michael, or no?
No, not necessarily. I think the road was more noticeable.
Okay.
Than what it is today. That's all.
Yeah. Yeah, because I feel like you fought everyone we heard of like back then. Like we knew those guys, most of them. Where now it's like they just seem to appear. You just know it's Tyson Fury against a new guy or Deontay versus a new guy, right? But
what Jon's saying, we talked about off air before you came on about the Canelo fight this past weekend. And, a lot of people don't know who Billy Joe Saunders was. I'm a boxing fan, so I knew who he was, but most people don't, even though he's 30-0. And you say, wow, what did this guy get built up to be a 30-0 fighter? And what do you think about Canelo? Do you think that he has reached legendary status yet? Or what do you think? Is this something that he still has to prove? Now, of course, he fought some guys. I was telling Jon, he did fight some pretty good guys along the way here. Triple G fight. I was at both Triple G fights. I thought he won both of them, especially the first one. But what do you think about Canelo and his big $300 million contract that he received from DAZN?
Good for that young man.
That's right.
He is a great boxer. I never met the young man. I'm sure that he's an exceptional guy. Except, I just don't want to praise him that much because he is a phenomenal guy. It's just like, I'm a fan. I keep it real. I'm a fan of his, and that dude, he punches hard, man. He's so dedicated to his sport and how to do it and how to turn punches over. It's just, I see some little things that can be corrected. Like he walks heel to toe by coming in. I would catch him every time on that jab. Teddy taught me that. And
wow. Cool.
I would definitely catch him every time coming in on that because he's off balance. But exception, man. That dude punches hard.
Cool. Yeah, he does. He got some, and
he's gonna eventually have to move up to 75. There's some tough guys up in 75.
Yeah,
I would like to see that.
Sure, like to see put on some weight and go up. That's great. Yeah.
Who would you want to see him fight?
There's two champions up there now. Dimitri Bivol or something like that.
Oh, right.
And there's another guy. I'm not familiar, but there's two guys.
Dimitri Bivol, Bivol. Jean Pascal. I'm reading the guys that are the champions. Beaterbev. Well, I don't know if Beaterbev. Now I seen Beaterbev fight.
Beaterbev.
Yeah, I seen Beaterbev fight in Philadelphia. And he was a small underdog on that card, and I seen him win. What am I thinking? That was Teddy's fight. That's why I seen that. I was wondering why I was in Philly for that fight. Yeah. So I seen him win that fight. He's a tough guy, man. Poof.
Exactly.
Some of those Russians, man. Those Russians have that.
Him and Canelo, that would be a hell of a fight.
Yes, it really would. And again, it's he'd have to put on a couple pounds, like you're saying. So,
but Canelo's a big guy. He's a big man. He's muscular, so I'm sure he comes into the ring 175.
Yeah. Yep. Light heavyweight.
Yeah.
Cool.
Champ, is there a fight that you wish you could run back? Like if you could roll the clock back, is there a fight that you wish you could run it back one time?
David Tua and all my losses.
Not many of them. Many of them.
All four of us.
The four losses I would like to take back. I probably didn't train right. I probably didn't. No, I'm sure I didn't train right. No, probably. I didn't train right, or I had other things on my mind. I took advantage, or whatever the case may be. But live and learn. Those are lessons we taught in life learning lessons.
Absolutely.
I can pass along to the young bucks.
Yeah. And it's great that you're so blunt about that too. You're so, hey, listen, I probably overlooked it like Tyson overlooked, his fight in, what was that? I'm trying to figure it was Japan. He went to Japan for that fight and kind of overlooked Buster Douglas. So that's
it's just, that shows you're human.
That's right.
No one's perfect.
It's probably easy to do when you've made some money, you get some notoriety. it's probably hard to manage, because it's probably fun, right? The success brings a lot of opportunity to have fun, and you're a normal human being. And, it's probably tough to stay in training mode round the clock.
Yep. Well, it brings you success early in boxing, also while you're boxing. But this is a good topic now. What happens to boxers after boxing?
Yeah.
There's boxers that are homeless. There's boxers that are struggling to try to keep a roof over their head and made millions of dollars.
Yeah.
How is that possible?
Yeah.
I just don't understand.
It's sad.
I see now how it operates, and I don't know why that's allowed. There's so many things that I would change in boxing, and I'm not mad at boxing. It's just that most of the boxers that I know broke as hell.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's sad.
It's really sad.
Oh God.
It's sad because there's no union like all the other sports, right? Football, baseball, basketball, they all have pension. That you guys don't have anything like that. It's the same with the Olympians, with the track and field guys. I'm real good friends with like Maurice Green, and it's like these guys run for America. They compete. A lot of you boxers, fight for America in the Olympics, and you go through your career and you come out and you had these ridiculous leeches around you, probably, getting whatever money they can get.
You know what it breaks down to? Let's think about this. Come on, Bill, get your calculator out.
Sure.
Okay. We have, say you make $10 million. Mm-hmm. The manager gets 33.33%
off the top, right? Before taxes.
Off the top.
Right.
Then the manager gets 33 1/3. The promoter gets 25%. And the trainer gets 10%. So that's 68 1/3. Right?
That's unbelievable. Yeah.
It's criminal.
And you got to pay taxes on that.
Wow.
That's not right. And I've been trying to do a boxers union for a couple years now. Because if boxers know the outcome after boxing,
right,
you're not going to want to do that. Boxing is not a sport. Boxing is a hobby to do because there's no retirement. There's no health insurance. There's nothing. All this money you make, all the money you pay to Social Security, paid your taxes and everything, there's nothing for you.
Wow. I didn't know the promoters were taking that big of a chunk. Wow. So you're talking all these percentages. I kind of didn't know that they get that kind of money. So you're talking out of a...
Now, let me be correct.
All right.
This was back when I was fighting.
Sure, that's back then. It's not with the pay-per-view and stuff now that they have.
Yeah, and I don't know what's happening now.
But. And even so, even if it has changed, it's changed because of guys like you that paved the way and showed the next generation of, hey, this needs to be.
I hope that I can encourage somebody to take a stand to understand why do you have superstar? You know what it is, sort of, and I thought about this. It's like a slave master with the slaves, not a black and white thing. Mm-hmm. It's a slave master with the slaves, telling them to do what you want, how to do it, when to do it, and this is what you're going to get. You had a reward. So when I'm done with you, then you go on, do what you got to do, but I'm still going to be making the money. That's not the way life works like that, and so much money has been taken because they allowed you. If these boxers are making money, why don't they set up something where, that's going to help you save, invest, They don't do that shit. They want to make the money off of you, and that's it. Yeah. That's it.
It's not fair when you have promoters that are worth $700 million like Bob Arum, and they're going off in the glory, and here you have guys like I seen Evander Holyfield talk about this on a great documentary of the money he made, and it shocked me. I didn't know he made that kind of money. Evander Holyfield was on a show recently.
It has nothing.
I had made $360 million or something. He said, I had no idea. I thought he made maybe $100 million. $360 million. Whoa.
And where is it? That's just so wrong.
It's terrible.
Yeah. And I don't know who was back. Who was the promoter? I guess Don King was back then. I don't know.
Don King was his promoter, but we don't know what he did. So
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if he's worth hundreds of millions. I don't know, but not like today's promoter.
If one promoter is worth that much money, why wouldn't all the other promoters be worth that money?
Yeah. In the end, they get all the money. That's
and in boxing today, the ring, the attendants that take people up to the ring and the referee, they're more superstars than the boxer. They want to be seen and act like they're doing shit in the ring. I'm like, for real? You don't need all them people in the ring. You set the rules right. That's why you don't need, in boxing, needs one commissioner. That's it. You don't need a commissioner in every state. You pick a region, you get a commissioner for that region, an assistant commissioner, while you have one commissioner that's going to oversee everything that have people work from. Okay? Then you have the people that's going to go out to go to the fights and make sure they follow the rules the right way. You know, you have all these other people, the advisors, the promoter, all these people making all this money, like, because they're the superstar. They're pawning you off on other people. That's not the right way to do it.
Very interesting.
And it's wrong. You know, boxers are broke. Yeah. I'm one of them. And
you've made a lot of money in your career. I haven't seen it. I haven't Googled it, but you made
I don't know how much I made, but broke. We struggle.
Yeah.
I'm not embarrassed to say that.
Sure.
The thing is, people think that because you box, you're rich. You got this and that. No, Floyd's the only one because he managed himself.
Very smart. Very smart.
That's it. He managed himself. Like I believe Winky Ray did it. There's several boxers out there who managed themselves. They didn't get stipend by the other people that's taking advantage of everybody else. And I'm not saying it's everybody, but when it's back in my day.
Sure.
Yeah. I don't know what goes on right now.
Oh yeah, even more so.
People say, "Oh, Michael, he hate boxing and he's mad at boxing." You know what? I watch shit. Just like up at the Hall of Fame. Why would you charge astronomical amounts of money? I ain't even want to talk about that.
No, but you're right, though, about the Hall of Fame, because Teddy was against that, too, for years. I know exactly where you're going with that. These guys that are making money off, it's 100% right. Hall of Fame should be a place where you go and the annals of history, you see what was going on. You see Michael Moore up there. I understand they have to raise some kind of money, but there should be donations or something from guys like these great promoters and these big money promoters. I'm with you on this. I'll go off on tangents on this, too. Trust me.
Yeah. That's wrong.
It is.
That's wrong. I've been nominated for the Hall of Fame, but never made it twice, okay? Because I voiced my opinion. People don't like me talking shit.
Right.
I speak the truth. I just see it's not right. The thing is, I'm the first Southpaw heavyweight champ.
Thinking of that.
Won the title on 3 different occasions. Yeah. Plus a light heavyweight with 9 title defense. I know what I've done. I don't have to have people come and spend money, which I get none of it.
Right.
To appreciate me. That I don't need all that.
Yeah.
And I'm not putting nobody down. The people up at the Hall of Fame are great and fantastic people. It's just, hey. What is that going to do for me? You give me a ring and a plaque? How about give me half of the money?
Yeah, and it is a money making thing up there. It's not a non-profit thing for sure. And I agree with you there.
It's just, I mean,
I love that you speak blunt. You know,
I love it.
Me too. It's like Teddy. You just speak your mind, but it makes things.
You know what it is? People are not used to people speaking their mind. They're used to people telling lies and telling a story before you get to the truth, but they'll always try to cover it up. It's not about that. It's not a being cocky, rude, ignorant. It's not about that. It's about, I'm not a bullshitter. I shoot straight from the hip. If you don't like it, don't fuck with me then.
I've been with you 3 or 4 times when that's the opposite of what, if anyone ever thinks that, you're so social, you take pictures with everyone, you meet everybody, you're nice to everybody. That's not Michael Moore. Michael Moore is
when people are nice to me, I'm nice to them.
You are.
You know, there's going to be assholes out there. That's everywhere.
Sure.
You know, but you try to talk to them. That's it. You know, I know how to turn it on and turn it off. You know, my boxing days are over.
If you don't already have a podcast, please start one.
Yeah.
I have been thinking about that, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be great because you're
not a bad idea. You know what? You're right, John. John does a lot of different podcasts. John's got his own studio where he does a whole bunch of different kind of podcasts. So if he's recommending that, it must mean something. So that's a good idea.
I thought about that. I've been talking to some people about it.
Yeah, man, you would really be great because just the authenticity that you have. And not being afraid to speak your mind, and you're right in everything that you've said.
Why you said not afraid to speak your mind?
Many are.
But hold on.
Yeah.
Why would I be afraid to speak my mind?
Yeah.
Why would that? Because people don't speak their mind at times?
Yeah, I feel like today, in today's world, you know, it's like that old joke, you can't handle the truth. I think a lot of people can't handle the truth. And it's not, especially when it's not a popular truth, you know, and I feel like that's the first step to solving. Let's just take the boxers. Like, I think this step one to fixing this problem is more boxers need to stand up like you. And also the ones that have the money, like Floyd, need to get behind you guys. You know,
Floyd can get behind, but I don't think that he should spend the money.
Right. I'm not saying spend the money even.
Right. If he wants to help boxers,
right,
that's on him. But he's not obligated to do that. You know.
Sure.
Well, listen, Michael, we're up against it now for time. I'm going to definitely I'm going to look you up. I'm going to give John your phone number to look you up. And I'm also going to text you myself about connection, who to call over there. He'll take care of you for a room. And I really appreciate you coming on with us. This was phenomenal.
What an honor, champ. Yeah. Thank you,
gentlemen. You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Yeah,
anytime.
Man. Yeah, we'll take you up on that.
We'll take you up on that. Thank you, Michael. God bless you, my man. I'll talk to you soon.
Thank you, brother. You too. Bye.
Wow, Crack, that was incredible. That's a boxing legend right there. Not too many people could say they jumped in the ring with Holyfield and came out victorious, you know?
Yes. Oh, my God. Definitely. Evander is a really true champion. I remember when I was going to the Tyson fights, I was actually at Tyson Spinks and Tyson Holmes in Atlantic City around 88. And I was there for those fights. And I remember people talking about this up and coming Holyfield. He had to put on some weight and he was going to be a heavyweight, one of these days, heavyweight champ. So to beat that guy when he was champ, man.
Yeah.
Phew. And, we might be able to get him on here. I have a good connection to Evander. So
really?
Yeah. He's amazing. Good guy too. He's actually fighting again too. Wow. I kind of don't understand that. These guys are coming back for these kind of fights, and you just hope that nobody gets hurt because they've taken a lot of punches in their life in their 20s and 30s, and then they want to come back in their 50s and start fighting.
I think it's just so hard to say no to the money, though, right? It's just so it's so
especially
hard
for some of these guys. Tyson went broke, and now he's worth tens of millions again.
Right.
So these guys, especially guys like Evander, these guys. Here's a guy that made like $350 million, ridiculous, and went totally broke. Google's net worth's like $500,000 bucks.
Terrible.
So, almost broke. So
well, listen, Crack. Before we get out of here, before we get out of here, I've been a little cold lately, but I'm getting back in the winning circle this week. UFC 262. Mike Chandler is fighting Oliveira, and I'm here to tell you Mike Chandler, who's a little bit of a dog. I think he's maybe plus 115. He is going to have the belt wrapped around his waist. He was the Bellator champ, and he came over here. He's 1-0 in the UFC. He beat Dan Hooker a couple months ago with an incredible just barrage of punches. So I've got Mike Chandler, and then a good friend of Mr. Jake Ellenberger is fighting Benny Dariush is fighting Tony Ferguson. Tony is a savage, but he's kind of been on the skids lately. So I'm going with the parlay of Dariush and Chandler. Book it, crack. I'm not going to say bet the house, but that's my parlay.
Cool. That's the main event too that night. The Chandler fight. So yeah, good luck there. All right.
All right, man. As always, this was a fun time, and I will see you next week, and we will see all of you next week on Wise Kracks.
Thanks for joining us.